Okay, one more story, and then I'm going straighten out. Okay. Anyway, I want to say one more thing. You don't know how fathers, deadbeat dads, you don't know how detrimental that not loving your kid is. Not giving them love, not being there, not holding them, not being there for your child. It is almost like taking a knife, taking it out, and then just stabbing them right in, a literal knife, not like mean words knife, like physical knife, and you have a little 4-year-old boy, and you just, or maybe a little bit older, okay? It literally kills a child, kills them. You could have just as well taken some poison and just poured it in and just say, here, drink this. It's the same thing. It's no different. It is literally like, just, if you took your kid and threw him in like some ravenous pit bulls, that's what you would be doing. By not loving your child. They proved it in like different animals, or if a child does not receive the companionship, the love, the social interaction with the mother or family members, it will die. It will die. Okay? They've done it, I think they've done it to monkeys or something like that, that if they don't have the love and compassion and the warmth of a child, they're connected to a woman's body inside. And you just pitch them out into the hard, cruel world. They will die. So my point of the story is this. I'll say it real quick. There was this kid, I was taking care of these kids at this daycare around the corner, and I had a commanding voice. So they would ask me to kind of discipline some of the bad kids. Now there was this one kid that was so bad that the other teachers would talk about him. I mean, before I actually even got there, he was just so bad, supposedly, that before I even met him, his reputation, I mean, I don't know how old he was, 8, 10, I don't know. It's a little kid, and so, he had all the other teachers terrorized, right? So I ran into him eventually, and the sparks started flying. I mean, Optimus Prime meets Megatron. This is still a little kid, right? And so I would raise my voice, and I would scare the hell out of him. He just never had a man talk to him, right? So I had some controls for a while. And everybody kind of appreciated it. All the other teachers, and they would kind of get me. So it was like 3 or 4 bad kids that, immediately, the authoritative figure of a father, a grown-ass man with muscles that they can visually see, taller than them, more weight, somebody that based on their other friends, they know they can't beat, There's a problem with women trying to raise, physically, a woman is not intimidating like a man can be, okay? So when you tell them something, they not really gonna listen to you, okay? And then women have a soft heart anyway, so they're not gonna really, where it becomes a serious problem when a man tells a kid something and the kid don't answer. It becomes, a serious mortal conflict, and one has to win and one has to lose. So a man, this is what happens with a man and a child, they establish a hierarchy, okay? All right, so sometimes when a father isn't around, that hierarchy isn't established. I used to have problems with my nephew where they didn't understand that regardless of what their grandma told them at the time, you're going to have to respect me regardless how I allow her to get away with stuff, or to say certain things to me, because that was my mom. I explained that to them. But anyway, that's not my problem. That's not the point. That's bygones now. It's bad when you let only just, a female be the authoritative figure in their life, because maybe one day that female or that person or that grandma may not be there, and then they don't have any authority, nobody to look up to, and no reason to do the right thing. So then they begin to have problems. So that's the bad part, and a lot of black men tend to let their grandmoms and stuff raise their children, and then when grandmom ain't there, then there's issues. Anyway, that's not the point. The point is that one day this kid went behind. He realized that I was in. When we tell a child, well, you're not gonna get a whooping, you're not gonna get spanked. That's why you have problems in the school. Plain and simple. There's no repercussions. In my day, a teacher would take a paddle, you would get one hit on the ass, and that's all you needed. Sometimes you would get two, but it was a real paddle, and you get a real hit, and you understood that doing the wrong thing had consequences that were very, very unsuitable to, and not worth the sacrifice of you having your way. This is why we have a problem at school. In the old days of school, you would get a spanking. This is why we're going to have a problem with parents raising their children. Because if there's no consequences and you still have to take care of them and you can't toss them out in the street, then the child is like, well, I can do what the hell I want. I don't have to listen to my parents. I can talk back. And then CPS can take them and then take your kids when you can't handle them and give them the homosexuals a raise. Anyway. So the point was, this one kid, or put him in foster care, let me say that. Okay, so one kid, he eventually realized that I was just louder and intimidating, and there was really no consequences. So one day he goes behind the door, and it's just like this situation right here, right? He's right behind this door. Okay, like this one right here. I don't know. Just like I wasn't even enough room, And so I reach in there because he wouldn't come out. I reach in and grab him, and as you see right now, I was never really good with my nails, and he got a scratch. Okay, because he yanked away from me, and that's how he got the scratch. He didn't get the scratch from me grabbing, because I just grabbed him on his arm, and I pulled him from out between the door because he was in a classroom that he didn't belong in. So then there became an issue. Okay, he got a scratch. I mean, I'm talking about a little bitty scratch. I mean, like little bitty. It didn't bleed. I don't think it broke the skin, but it was a little scratch. Now everybody knows this is the baddest kid. Everybody put me up to disciplining this kid, right? And oh, would you go get him and all this stuff? And he get a little scratch from me, and he causes himself from yanking himself behind the door. Little tyke, right? As mean and bad as it could be. And I couldn't understand how a little child could be so mean and so bad. How the fucking demon, how did a little demon get in this kid? I'm talking about a demon, not the kid. How did the demon get in this kid? What kind of bitterness entered this heart? What kind of bad spirit entered this kid's heart? Well, I immediately got suspended. They moved me to another location. And then it was really funny. And then they said, well, no, we're going to have to give you a few days off. In the midst of those few days off, I got a call out of nowhere from Apple Computer, and I got this wonderful job, and I was flying to California. Not even thinking about this place anymore, right? They called me back. They said, all is forgiven. We're gonna let it go. And I said, I'm sorry. You had the Alonzo Von 3 for a short period of time, and I tried to help out with a situation, and you used it against me. Okay. Anyway, I'm on to what bigger and better things. Okay, I'm on to other things that I have to do. You know, my life is calling me. Okay, so anyway, Apple treated me wonderful. But one day I'm sitting at the bus stop. Oh, I get on the bus and I see his mother, and his mother tells me, he said when he was a little kid, his father was cheating around with other women, and the kid was in the park and he saw his dad. You know, he was so happy to see his dad. He came up to his dad, and his girl, the dad's girl that he's fooling around with, not the mother of his kid. You know, the kid runs up to the dad, you know, trying to get a hug, you know, wanting to lift him up. You know, that's my daddy. He says, goes and runs to him. There's my daddy. The dad said, he was with his girl. She said, oh, that's your son? He said, no, that's not my son. And that kid never was the same after that. And I understood why. I understood why all of that stuff, why he was so bitter and he hurt. And after that, that child was never, ever the same. He wouldn't pick him up, nothing. And the kid had to turn around and walk away. And afterwards, I saw the kid and his mother explained this to him. His mother, you know, she was a nice lady, but she understood. She knew, and she once we talked and stuff like that. You know, so it was wonderful. I was blessed in getting this great resolve over that situation with this mother. But then a few weeks later, the kid goes by on a bike and he sees me on the stop, and the mother had told me that the kid says, oh, I'm so sorry that he lost his job. And the kid generally had problems in so many schools, you know. But after that situation, he had kind of, you know, he started to do better. And then I saw the kid, like I said, I saw the kid. He was so happy to see me, you know. And I said, hey, man, don't worry about it. You know, I got a job. I was really happy, you know. I was doing computer graphics instead of working at a daycare. I was teaching the kids a little bit of something, but, you know, it wasn't the best for me, you know. But then he was like, you know, he was so happy, and I gave the kid a hug, you know. I let him know it's all right, and he was just so appreciative. I heard he was doing really much better in school and everything. So, you know, just fathers. You only get one daddy, okay? You only get one daddy. And, you know, that's the whole world. You're dealing with the future. And so, stop killing your kids. You know, that kills a kid's heart and spirit. You know, show your children love. You know, at least be there. I mean, even if you ain't got any money, you know. Anyway, let them know you love them. Be proud of them. Tell them you're proud of them. And try to depart some wisdom and not make the same mistakes you made. Anyway, God bless you all. Love you all. Sorry I got